If y'all don't leave Kevin Hart alone, I'm gonna explode. Recently, for some bizarre reason, actually not so recently, like a while ago, I heard this story resurface. I'm sure all y'all have if you're on this video, so if you haven't, Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars. Then past homophobic tweets that he did were brought up, and basically everything spiraled out of control from there. At first, he basically said, I already apologized, so like, I ain't gonna apologize again. Then people got on his ass, and then he got taken off of the Oscars, or the Academy basically was like, apologize or you're not gonna do the show. So he stepped down from doing the Oscars, and then he issued another apology, basically saying if his past comments were hurtful to anyone, he's very sorry and regretful, and that he's moved on, he's a better person now, and he doesn't make those kind of jokes anymore, and he never was really hateful, but he just made those jokes for cheap laughs because he thought it was fine then, but he's grown and changed as a person, okay? Now, I feel like I have, well, first of all, I think anybody can have an opinion about anything, because y'all have a right to have your opinions. But I do think, you know, like, obviously, like, some groups have more perspective than others. For example, like, a female who can physically have a baby or be in the position of having an unwanted pregnancy probably has a more, they have a very different perspective and possibly more nuance on the issue of like abortion and abortion rights and abortion access than a male does, because a male will never be in the situation where they could accidentally get pregnant or like, you know, like be raped and have a baby or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or like get pregnant or whatever, you know what I'm saying. So some groups just naturally are going to have like a more nuanced opinion, or like their opinion is more like deep, or like they fully grasp the issue better, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a straight man trying to give an opinion on a gay issue, like, you can have your opinion all you want, but you don't know as much, like, you don't know what it's like, you know what I'm saying? But you can listen and understand, and that doesn't mean that your opinion is completely invalid. You're allowed to have your opinion, but like, it can be helpful if you're a member of a certain group, just so you kind of have more information and more personal experience, okay? So, I'm a trans guy, and I'm also pansexual, and possibly polyamorous. I mean, basically I'm polyamorous, but like, I've never actually been in a poly relationship before, but I would be open to the idea, so I guess that makes me polyamorous, but anyway, that's not really my point. But, so basically, I am very much in the LGBTQ plus community, like, on multiple fronts, and, I was used to be very, very involved in it, so I kind of know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So basically, don't be like, oh, this is just like, you know, like a straight person talking about this who's cis and doesn't understand, because, yeah, no, trans and pan, so, like, listen to me. All LGBT people, gay, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, transgender, bigender, trigender, gender fluid, anything and all other things I haven't mentioned. If y'all still mad at Kevin Hart over his tweets, the problem is with you and not with him. I'm just telling, I look, I'm him. I'm not him. I'm not Kevin Hart. Him, okay? Why don't I have my stuffed animals? I used to... Never mind. That was random. You have to watch my other videos, okay? Go watch my breakup videos. Or whatever. One video. It's only one. I'm not Dominic, for God's sakes. Okay. Basically, my thing is, I totally get it. Like, as a trans person and a pan person, you know what I'm saying? Homophobic comics and transphobic comments, I don't know why I say comments, are not chill. They're not good. They shouldn't be, like, ignored or, like, brushed off. Like, they can be seriously damaging and harmful. So I do think when celebrities or anyone says those kinds of things, they should be called out for it. You should be like, hey, that's inappropriate. Like, that's harmful, hurtful, not very sensitive, whatever. Like, you shouldn't say those things. I definitely think that should be done. Just like anything. If you hear someone saying racist things, you should call them out and be like, yo, why are you saying that, you know? Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think that Hart was ever homophobic. I think he was just a comedian making cheap jokes. Like, tons of comedians, like, you know, in past years, like, we were much less sensitive to things being offensive, especially in, like, big culture. So you get away with saying a lot more stuff than you can now. So I believe, like, he was just, like, basically when I was younger, literally being trans and pan, I would like make gay jokes and stuff like that. But like, I never did it from a place of malice, you know what I'm saying? I don't think most people who make those jokes are. There are some people who are generally hateful and make those kinds of jokes, but a lot of people just like don't really realize the harm in it, and they're just trying to be like funny, and they don't think it's that big a deal. That doesn't like make it really excusable, of course not, but that's just one element, okay? But I'm coming at it like, even if legit you believe he was actually legitimately homophobic and like hateful and shit, okay, and like he was just using those jokes to like convey those like hateful ideas or whatever, like he has changed and moved on. And like, if you don't believe that somebody can change, then like, y'all, what's wrong with you? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all humans, we all make mistakes. Like, if you're gonna sit up there and act so holier than that, like, think about your fucking life. There's gonna be something that you did that was fucking wrong, that you know that like you shouldn't have done, and if you went back you would change it, but you can't because you don't have a fucking time machine. Like, what do you want him to do? Build a time machine from scratch because they don't fucking exist, then go back in it, then go tell his past self not to make those comments, those jokes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? You're being absolutely ridiculous, okay? He's apologized time and time again, and if the reason you're irritated was like, why didn't he apologize right away, or like why is he annoyed that he has to keep apologizing? If he's truly sorry, like, he'd apologize over and over and over and over and over again. Let me give you an example, okay? You and your friend are like, you're hanging out and eating a cookie, okay? Obviously, yes, I know this is more serious than cookies, but I'm using an example, okay? And they say, hey, I want the last cookie, so don't eat it, but you forget and you eat it. And then they say, hey, what the fuck, man, you said you wouldn't eat the cookie, like, this is fucked up. You say, oh my god, you're right, I totally spaced it, like, I'm so sorry, I'll buy you another cookie or some weird shit, okay? And then they're like, okay, whatever. Then a week later, you guys are walking down the street, and then you're like talking about something, and then they're randomly like, remember when you fucking ate the last cookie? And you're like, excuse me? And they're like, that was so fucking horrible of you. And you're like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't, it was a mistake, I forgot, I messed up, like, sorry. And they're like, okay, whatever. Then more time passes, and you're hanging out with that friend again. It's been weeks now. It's been like a month. And you guys are just sitting at a restaurant, and you guys get some cookies on the table, and they're like, remember the time you fucking stole my cookie? And you're just like, boy, what do you want? Like, people can't go back. So, like, you holding them accountable over and over again when they've already said they're sorry, like, is completely fucking ridiculous, and it is annoying. I know if somebody was doing that shit to me, I'd be like, oh, I already said I'm sorry. You're the one who needs to get over it at this point. You either forgive me or you don't, you know what I'm saying? So basically, yeah, there's gonna be some assholes who are just gonna be like, he's homophobic, he's still homophobic to this day, like, I can't believe he's acting like the victim, like, whatever, I hope his career dies. And like, if you believe that, honestly, I don't think this video is gonna change your mind. Like, I really don't. But I don't understand, like, if he's not allowed to make that mistake, then like, what? Like, you've never made a mistake? Like, are you not a human? I'm sorry. Are you Jesus Christ? Have you ascended above us all? Like, I just don't understand how you could possibly have that mindset, you know what I'm saying? And I understand, like, some crimes are more serious than other crimes. This is not a crime, but, like, using that word is something bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, maybe, like, of course you're like, a cookie example is retarded because, like, oh god, I'm gonna be triggered for that. Fuck it, I'm using it. But, like, a cookie example, right? So they're like, this is like, you know, like stealing a cookie or like accidentally taking the last cookie, like, that's not serious. Of course I would forgive that, but like, if somebody made a racist joke or like if somebody said a homophobic comment or something, like, those are things I can't forgive, you know what I'm saying? Like, get over yourself. Just get over it, okay? Like, I understand words are hurtful. I truly believe that they are. And I don't think they should ever, like, words like that shouldn't be used. Jokes like that shouldn't be used. Jokes like that can be legitimately harmful. But he knows that, and he's apologized for that. So at this point, you are just, like, a petty little person, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you don't think that people should be able to change. Like, once you've done something bad, you're stained for the rest of your life. Which is like, what? Please stop yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, So basically, I guess the people who think that are never going to change their minds. So I guess this isn't to you. And to all the people that agree with me, I guess you can just watch this and be like, yeah, I agree with that. But, like, let's be real. Like, then you're just, like, nodding your head along to what I'm saying or whatever. So I guess to the people in the middle, which, honestly, I don't know how you're still there, but, like, if you're still angry, just think of something you've done in your life. Maybe you've never made homophobic tweets, but there is something in your life that you have done more than accidentally taking a cookie, okay? Ye ain't a perfect person, and neither is Kevin Hart, okay? I want you to think of that moment and think about how badly you regret it. Think about how you would do, you know, if you could go back, you would do better. Think about how you evolve, okay? And then think that, like, if, like, should I feel guilty about that forever? Should that stay in me forever? Should I be expected to apologize years and years down the road over and over? Should people define me? Should I be denied opportunities because I made a mistake even though I said I was sorry and tried to move forward? No, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand. Like, hearing homophobic things is painful and it makes people angry. I know when I hear legitimately like homophobic and transphobic stuff, I'm like, it pisses me off because I'm like, that's fucking damaging. Like, how can you be saying those things? But like, when somebody has apologized, especially for these comments were so long ago, and he's apologized for them and he has changed. It's not like he apologized and then he kept making homophobic tweets or he kept using homophobic jokes in his show. Like, he stopped. He stopped using them because he knew that they were wrong. He learned. People can learn and people can change. So basically, I'm saying, LGBT community plus, if there's any of you out there that are still pissed at Kevin Hart, stop being pissed. Because while you're entitled to your feelings, you're acting like a 5-year-old who, I don't even know what this 5-year-old, the 5-year-old basically had the last cookie taken and now they can't let it go. And they want that person who took their last cookie to die, even though they're 10 now and they should be fucking over it. Bye.